Hi, I'm Jane Pitkin Curtis. I live in Woodstock, Vermont, thank goodness. And I'm 100 years old. I can't believe that either, but I am. I'm still fighting for what I think is right. I'm still fighting for women's rights. And I'm so pleased to see so many women out here today saying the same thing I am. We have to stand up for our rights. And we've been subjected too long to what men think we should be doing, but we should be doing what we want to do. And I'm so proud to see so many of my friends here with the signs up saying, vote. And I think the message I really want to talk about is that we have to vote. You can't just protest, you have to go out to that ballot box and mark whatever you want to do, but you have to vote. It's your duty as a citizen. Good heavens, we fought for that hard enough. Back in my mother's time, she protested. My grandmother, I know, would be right here behind me saying, "Go, Jane, go." I'm delighted to see so many people here. I can't believe it. And I'm interested to see the cars going by, some fingers up, some fingers thumbs down, but that's all right. It's their choice. I think this is a coming out party, that we are finally finding our voices, that we've certainly, that what happened on the border was a wake-up call for all of us. This can never, ever happen again. We cannot have that sort of actions happening from Washington. And we need to get together as we are. I hope that this is happening in other parts of the country. Of course, Vermont being Vermont, we are pretty special here. We do speak out in Vermont. It's a place where we can say, yes, this is not the way the country should be going. We are going to do everything we can to keep it going fine.
My name is Kate Curtis Donahue. I live in Heartland, Vermont. My mother is Jane Curtis. She actually happens to be sitting next to me here. And she has been the instigator of a number of marches, demonstrations, and rallies. And she feels strongly, as do I, that we need to participate in the political process. We need to start out by voting at the local level and voting at the federal level. There is only one way we can affect real change, and that is by voting our conscience. And if you're concerned about what's happening in this country right now, one needs to register and vote as soon as possible, because in Vermont, the primary is happening this month, August 14th.
I am really happy to be sitting next to Jane Curtis, probably one of the most important people in my life. And I've only known her well for the last few years. And it is she who started Women for a Change. It was she who made that phrase up.
We did it together.
And Women for a Change, I find, from somebody who's 100, gives me an enormous amount of go to it, and it's true. And we're here today hoping that we can get the vote out. And I think more than anything else, I care, and I think Jane does too, that women vote. That we've not had our voices for an awfully long time. And it is surprising to me how some women just don't vote. And they really matter. We all know every vote counts. So.
Right on.
Yeah.
I am sitting here talking with Jane and with Deborah, neighbors who we have gotten together ever since the election about what's going on in this country right now. And all three of us and our friends are very passionate about getting out the vote and about paying attention to what is happening in Washington. Right now, with the primary coming up, we're hoping that people will register for the primary, which is very important. Once they're registered, also it'll be easier for them to get out the vote. We've all read in the paper about the low turnout, and it's every person's vote counts, every person's vote matters, and we just want to get that word out today, right? Deborah mentioned that I grew up in Canada, and so I am an immigrant, and I recognize how important voting is, and we just are really, all of us, passionate about urging people to get out to vote their values. We think that all of us in the group, Women for a Change, agree that what's happening in Washington is not necessarily even a Republican or a Democratic thing. It's a Trump thing, and it's not good for this country. So we're hoping people will get out and vote, whether they're Republican or Democrat, actually, although we're Democrats, to just make their voices heard.
Hi, I'm Senator Alice Nitka. I live in Ludlow, and I'm a senator for the Windsor District and also the towns of Londonderry and Mount Holly, which are out of Windsor County. And I represent you along with Dick McCormick from Bethel and Allison Clarkson from right here in Woodstock. And today we're gathered here on the Tribou Park green to encourage people to vote. Of course, we have the primary coming up, and it's not something that everybody knows about, and then some people who do know about it said, well, I don't really know the candidates. So I would encourage everybody to try and get the information you can. I think some of the television stations are having some forums. There are some around the county, and ask friends who know, because no matter who your party or what you do or who you favor, it's important to vote. And so then, of course, we'll have the general election coming up in the fall, and we're really wanting everybody to turn out for that. That's a big time to turn out. And Vermont has not the turnout that it should have. And, you know, everybody says, well, I'm angry about this, or I don't like this, or what can I do about this? What you can do is vote. And maybe you'd say, well, my vote won't make a difference, but then you hear about races where just 1 or 2 votes make all the difference. Of course, not on the national races, but locally, and even on a statewide race, it might. And so we're really trying to get people out here, you know, all the new people who are new voters, whether you're just turned 18 or you're moved to the state, and usually, you know, there is a motor voter whereby you might get on the rolls and because you've registered your car and become a citizen of the state, not a. But those are all the ways. It's easy to get on the voter checklist. You can go into your town clerk. You don't even have to take the voter. You can self-administer, this is a new term this might be to some people, the voter oath. You don't have to have it in front of a notary public and then swear to it in front of them. It's self-administered now. So there's all these ways that you can get to vote these days, online, all kinds of ways. And we'd love to have you vote. You can even vote on election day in some place. I guess all around the state now you can, right up to the election, you can get to vote. So you hear about it, get right in there and vote. So here we are, we're having fun here. A lot of people honking and beeping, and you know, everybody's talking about different things. So anyway, get involved, and thanks a lot.
Hi, my name is Peggy Fraser from Woodstock, Vermont, and I am happy to be here to make our voices heard. We are very inspired by one of our leaders, Jane Curtis, who's 100 years old and has shown her passion and love for our country, for freedom, and the importance of being able to have free speech, free press, all of the cornerstones of American idealism. We love our country very much, and we are very concerned about the things that are happening today. One of our focuses has been a crisis on the border, separating children from their parents. I think women's voice, is very important maybe to address that particular issue and to get these children back with their families. Uniting families is a family value. That is what is America. And what has been going on is very scary and very sad. So we need to get back to our basics. That's freedom, that's love of country, that's caring for each other, that's having a beneficial role in the world.